All right, guys. Percival on the bottom right side of the map. Rogue in the top left. It is the grand finals of the Warty Mondays. And guess what? Percival. He's in the finals. I can already see you. Wow. Look how uncompetitive it is. Percival's in the finals. He's not Clem or Beyond. He's bad. Guess what, guys? You know who's already died in this tournament to these two players? Solar, Hero, Beyond. I think Classic, Nightmare, Shin. These guys have both torn their way through an absolute killer's row to get here. So you friggin' naysayers, you Percival haters, I know there's a few of you out there. You got to start putting some respect on this kid's name. Percival is very, very good at StarCraft. And it wasn't just a flash in the pan. The last year and a half, he has been grinding. And he's seeing the fruits of his labor. He goes 14 command center here. Starts another SCV. Nice command center first. Against the hatchery first here of Rogue. Rogue's gone 15 hatchery into 17 pool. Looks like is the standard at the moment. Helps you get those 2 queens out. Nice and fast. Oh, is he microing his drones? I thought he was shift clicking them. But no, he was just making sure they doubled up nicely. Pool goes down about 1:37. A few more drones here as well. You know, I'm kind of surprised we don't see more players play aggressive Reapers. You know, you can go proxy, you can go 9 depot, proxy 9 barracks, 9 gas, and actually get an insanely fast early Reaper pressure. It's not an all-in. I did see someone the other day do it as an all-in off of, I think it was 9 Supply as well, where they built a second barracks with the same SCV after building the first barracks. And it was very committed. But yeah, it's actually a really, it's quite a good strategy, man. Like, you'd be surprised how powerful that early Reaper can be, because 15 hatchery, 17 pool is just a big window where those Reapers can cause a big disruption and make the game a bit sloppy. Now, this is double barracks into a gas. Rogue has not moved his Overlord too far forward because I don't think he wants it to get sniped. So he's kind of keeping it in this position where he can spot enemy units coming forward, but he doesn't want to risk getting sniped. Percival's gone reactor very quickly. That's interesting. The third barracks, is it? Okay, so it's a 3 barracks build. The gas is timed out pretty nicely. He's going to build a tech lab once he hits 50 minerals. There we go. Tech lab goes down. That's the build sound, guys. Terran doesn't sound absurgy enough for my taste, so sometimes I like to add some little sound effects. So he's making little building noises. I like to add some... Hatchery builds on the third base. Queen's moving down to the front. No third queen in the main just yet. And Rogue is like, oh wait, did I build 4 Zerglings against a guy who's gone command center first? Now notice he's not starting link speed because he's realizing, oh, I don't need link speed early. I've already built Zerglings that actually ended up having no function in this game. Let's speed up the third hatchery, build the 2 overlords. He's going to build as many drones here as he can. He wants to get at least 6 more drones to saturate the natural, 3 more drones to get back on the gas in the main, and then you can see he builds the drones on the natural first because they're next to the minerals, and then he builds the ones in the main rallies on the gas. And now he builds a 3rd queen, and link speed will begin. And link speed will begin. The lings do run in. Tried to deny the SCV on the depot. Sorry, I should have been watching that. And link speed will... Is he gonna play roaches? He might play roaches. Link speed's still not started. He's gonna go carapace before link speed. My lord, Rogue. He may have forgotten Zergling speed, my friends. There's a little bit of hubris here, a little bit ridiculous. Oh man, he doesn't know it's 3 racks either. But like, I mean, you see a few Marines, you see no Hellions. Come on, man, you gotta start realizing if your opponent hits you with stim and shields before link speed, you're in real trouble, man. There's a factory on the way though, so it doesn't look like Percival's necessarily 100% committing to this stim timing. And the Roach Warren and Carapace goes down. Okay, so it is gonna be roaches. It is going to be roaches. Very delayed Roach Warren. But if Rogue gets away with this, he'll be feeling very good. Just because he's so economic. And remember, Rogue is a poker player. He's a big gambler. He's a veteran also of a lot of gambling mechanics and things that are used. You know, a lot of people have addiction problems. Rogue knows about this firsthand. Many years grinding Maple Story. An MMO that's monetization system has been likened to a slot machine. I don't play it. I'm not sure if that's a good analogy or not, but he says he's off it. Hasn't played in a few years. Last time I asked him, I was a bit sad about that because the thing used to be that Basically, the only reason Rogue would practice is if he hadn't won a tournament in a while and he needed to buy more MapleStory currency. He'd hop on, win a few tournaments so he could go back to grinding MapleStory. A player who StarCraft was just a path for him to fuel his real passion of predatory MMOs. But he's off that now. So who knows? Maybe we'll get World Championship Rogue back. But Roach is coming out a little late here. Dude, this is scary. The Marines are coming in. He's got a few Queens, a few Roaches. They're not quite ready just yet. Carapace still 30 seconds away. Percival goes in, grabs a Queen, grabs a Roach. That was 3 Marines for a Roach and a Queen, right? Oh, he's got to be careful. 2 Marines for a Roach is always a bit questionable. Tries to fight again. I think off creep. It's harder for the Zerg to just disengage. Oh, he's got to get that Reddit point Roach, and he does. Gets a creep tumor as well, but there's another one right next to it, so not the biggest trade. And even though it's cost effective, I think with how greedy Rogue was, he is so happy with what just happened, because look how far ahead he is on the upgrades. Look how far ahead he is. Brilliant opening for Rogue. And this is just Rogue in a nutshell. He sees a command center first, skips Ling Speed entirely, goes straight Carapace, goes Roach Warren, and he judges it just right. I mean, what if the Terran was hitting a little bit earlier with like an SCV pull or something like that? He just dies. But he's so good at having a good sense for the range of what his opponents are available of. I always think about, you think about range, you think about percentage chances. I really think Rogue would be fantastic with a lot of deck builders, a lot of trading card games, because it's that poker mindset of trying to weigh up the chances and then take advantage of those. Beautiful Marine micro though. Damn, those Roaches don't have Roach speed yet. That was really well done. Grabs a few drones on the way out. Nice. Sick trade. 1,000 minerals add. Okay, so Percival, that was a really brilliant move. Because, yeah, he's down an upgrade, but Roach speed wasn't ready. He uses his mobility, uses the hatchery against Rogue, gets a ton of damage. And what went from what I thought was a pretty bad position, as long as he's reasonably quick at starting his +2 weapons, is going to be okay. Now, his +1 armor is a bit behind, but remember, I was actually talking about this earlier today. Players should start rushing +1 weapons. Even if they don't have the money for +1 armor, you can add the second eBay later, and the earlier he starts that, the better. He goes back in. Oh my gosh. Looks like he just traded a Marine for a Roach. Not a bad trade. Got to get that 175. There we go. Nice. Remember, it's not even 175 these days, is it? It's only 150, I think, for +2 attack and armor for Terran. Roach Ravager looking like they might want to counter, but he's got tanks. He's got a big Marine Marauder force. He's actually already got 3 tech labs building Marauders as well. Oh, man. He's going to catch him out in the open. But eating Biles could really hurt. He does eat a few Biles there. Catches a few Ravagers and an Overseer. He's going to clear some creep. And oh man, Rogue goes from an insanely good greedy opening to now finding himself under the gun of a massive Marine Marauder. His creep control getting cleared up. Libs are going to try and come in siege with this as well. The tanks are staying at home. No, it looks like one of them's coming forward. And here we go. Bio-tank Lib coming forward. Biles will take care of the Liberator. But the Bio just pushing through Percival. Zero chill, zero respect. I absolutely would say that Rogue won the openings in this game. Despite that, Percival uses his bio timing so well, and he's got Rogue under the gun now. That front tank does go down. There's still 2 tanks, a few Marauders here, but the Ravager piles are coming in. Those Ravagers so weak, and they finally do go down. A few more Marines rally, and if he can maintain this tank position, it'll be excellent. Another bile does land. Siege tank takes damage, but as long as it doesn't go down, it's not too bad. Concussive Shells has not been upgraded just yet. Keep in mind, Rogue's almost even on supply. Is Percival overcommitting? Almost certainly. I think that was a bit deeper than he needed to go. Tries to save the units, only gets 1 Marauder, 1 tank out. Did overcommit just a little bit there. Shoved forward. He's building a 4th and a 5th command center, as well as a 2nd factory. So he's really trying to utilize that 300 mineral command center change. He's got a massive work account. Does need to start. +2 armor, and then +3 attack will be able to start pretty soon as well. Now, Rogue already has a hive, which is absolutely crazy. He's going Adrenal. Could start +3 Carapace. Ultra Cavern's already on the way, and he does start +3. Dude, Rogue's upgrades are just insane. Percival maybe would have been better off regrouping just a little bit, and then slow pushing that angle might have been the better way to deal with Rogue. He thought he could get through that. Now that the upgrades do worry me. Feels like Percival getting to 5 base this early should be amazing. On the other hand, the upgrades in tech are so good for I don't know. Like Rogue doesn't have that many units, but he's got great upgrades in tech. The extra barracks are only now coming in for Percival. I'm not sure. I feel like this is still a very even game. anyone's game at this point. Big Ling run by could come in. He's making orbitals, which is very dangerous. That Ling run by could ruin him. Hatchery gets cancelled in the top left. Widowmine does burrow to block that base, and this is huge. This is huge. Percival, oh no, he's a bit slow to react. He's going to lose a whole mineral line before he can do anything. He tries to shove in over here. Looks like he killed a few Banelings already. He's going to take out a hatchery as well, though. He says, okay, I lose a lot of SCVs, but at least I can defend. 13 SCVs there. Percival a little slow to pick up on the front. He will pick up and save some of the units, but he cannot lose this orbital. No, 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 no. Percival! Percival! He does lift it off at the last second. He needs more Marines. Now, the big problem he's having with these Zerglings, guys, is not only is he even or even behind in upgrades, depending on when these fights happen exactly, but he's mostly on Marines, not Marauders. So with his 3 extra barracks, he's built 2 more tech labs, 1 more reactor, which he desperately needs. Marines are actually the best unit against Zerglings. Marauders just don't do enough damage to them because they're not armored units. Good counter drop on the left here. Percival showing what he's made of. Very good at dancing back and forth. And Rogue is on 3 base right now. Rogue has a way bigger army supply. He's got great upgrades. But if Percival can withstand this next attack, he's got a great income. It's a 4-base Terran with a 5th command center ready to move out. He's got to withstand this attack, though. Rogue's only mining on 3 bases, and you can see Rogue's getting ready. He's getting ready, guys. He's going to go for it. Here we go. Massive attack comes in. The Marauders trying to micro back. A lot more units coming in from the left side. I think that tank on the right is doing excellent work, and there's enough Marauders. I think he can hold. The Marauders doing so much here. That extra upgrade advantage, though, for Rogue is big. Widowmine tries to get dragged onto the army, but Percival dodges it at the last second. The Ravages are down. A lot of SCVs are falling. He's got to hold on. He hold positions some SCVs down in that bottom side. Does trap one of those units. 17 workers have gone down. The Lings came in on this base as well, guys. Massive, massive damage. This might have been enough damage to win the game. Another command center is building. That's not what he needs right now. Percival just needs army, and he needs to hang on. Once again, the Zerglings causing him big issues. The factory is burning on that right side. Orbital may get taken out on the left as well. Those 2 Zerglings already killed so many SCVs. And it looks like Rogue, with a 12-minute 3-base all-in, is just barely going to get the damage that he needs. Wow, very well played. Very well played here. 35 workers go down. Looks like game-ending damage. Just not enough Marines in the mix. And, of course, the +3 carapace, +3 attack only now kicks in for Percival. Utilizing that upgrade window, he's also rebuilt a 4th and a 5th. And Rogue's still got a good work account. So now that he's got the hatcheries back up, he can instantly start mining from them. He's going to lose that factory if Rogue can click it. Can he click it, though? Command center down here, finally getting defended. These Lings, it's got to be so frustrating. Percival just doesn't quite have the numbers that he needs. He finally holds on, but it's not over yet. More Lings on the left side. He's trying to drop mules. He's trying to defend his income. Every second of lost mining time is also crucial because he's not really able to build Marine Marauder. And more Ultra Infestor running on the right side. Rogue knows he's got the advantage. He's transferred drones in the midst of this. He's still way over-saturated on his bases, but his APM is causing way more damage on the Terran side of the map, so he doesn't need to fix his own economy because he can ruin the Terran economy, and that's exactly what he does. The Infestor Ultra pulls away there after getting another 20 workers. Infestor, one of them does get sniped down. Nice micro. It looks like 72 workers have gone down for just 7 drones this game. All the fighting's been on the Terran side of the map. The Ultras chasing down the Bio army. The Widowmine clears a few of the Zerglings. There's no Liberators or anything here. A few Liberators could have saved the day, but it's just a little bit too much Zerg on the dance floor. Lovely play for Rogue. A few moments where I thought Percival was going to get back in this one, but Rogue managed to wriggle his way out of trouble. Slippery boy that he is. Ultraless versus Planetary is always a funny fight. Planetary's main damage is the fact that it has 100% splash damage in a pretty big radius. It's not the best in 1v1 duels, and Percival no doubt regretting this base not being a Planetary. Oh my lord, the Widowmine even friendly fires even more. 87 workers have been killed, maybe even more than that since that doesn't count friendly fire. Absolutely ridiculous. Spires on the way. That is, of course, the final cherry on the cake for Mr. Rogue. Gonna take a 6th base in the top right. He could respread his creep, would be nice to see. But he's just got burrowed infestors. He's still... Ling's hitting this base again. I mean, Percival's just having nightmares about Zerglings in mineral lines. He dives in this side. Best defense is sometimes a good offense. In this case, it's just an awkward spot to find yourself in. And once those Corruptors come out, that's going to be a real issue. I'm not sure why he dropped a Fungal there, guys. He's got no anti-air, so... bit of an odd choice. there was like 2 or 3 libs sieged up when that attack came in, totally different game, right? Or if there was just like a few more good Widowmine shots killing the Zerglings. It was close to Percival having the critical mass. Oh, the Fungals, watch out! Bio comes in from behind, the Infestors unburrow, Fungals do land. There's not that many Ultras, but here comes the rest of the Ling Bane. The Ultras do jump in to reinforce. Those Infestors go back underground to hide. Ling's finding the natural open. Ultra Ling Bane rolls forward. Beautiful trades here for Rogue, who could do this all days. He's got Corruptors building now as well. Looks like these Ultras will fall. Down here in the natural, the Lings are cleaning up a few Marines and Marauders. Percival's hanging on by a thread. But I think the Corruptors coming in will absolutely seal it, because the Liberators are the lifeline and Corruptors shut the Libs down. It also means anytime he's kiting back like that, Medivacs will be getting shot down by Corruptors. There's always a point where engagements look competitive and then Corruptors come in. If the Terran hasn't really got to that next step, if it's still on just Bio, Mine, Medivac, a little bit of Lib, fights will start to go drastically in the Zerg direction. Widowmine's firing on these random units in the middle. Rogue's got 3 Corruptors up, 2 more building. It's been really nice to see Zergs understand the power of Corruptors. I every now and then I'm just watching and I'm like, man, everyone's so good at playing this Ultra Ling Bane style. But you remember a few years ago, Zergs kept playing this style and taking like 10 minutes to go Corruptors. And there'd be these crazy multi-drop Liberator comebacks the Terrans would make. And the Zergs were like, yeah, man, Ultra style, it's okay, but it's not that good, you know? Can't deal with Libs, can't deal with this. I think we're seeing these days just such a good understanding and intuitive feel for when to go Corruptors. And it really does shut down the drops, the Corruptors, which were the only things Terran had going for them at that stage of the game. Beautiful, beautiful game from both sides. I think Percival, the way he ran around circles on that hatchery was so good. This timing over here was so good. But then he overcommitted, threw away the tanks, a bit of extra bio, and kind of fell behind in the upgrades as well. Rogue was so good at keeping the upgrades going. And even though Rogue got way ahead early, and then he lost the lead, I think, with the units running circles around his third, he kept the upgrades going, and that's what kept him in such a big lead. Having an upgrade advantage over Terran with the Carapace is game-changing. Add the Ultras, the Infestors, it gets even worse. GG, well played. Rogue takes game 1. Alright, guys. Percival in the bottom left of BlackRock. Accidentally, oh, is he thinking about proxy barracksing and then just changed his mind? I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like it. He's going to go 11 Depot by the looks of it, guys. We'll see what build order he does. Rogue in the top right side. I'm a big fan of 12 Depot, 14 Barracks. I'm also a big fan of 13 Barracks, 13 Gas. So if you do 11 Depot, it's 11 Depot, 13 Barracks, 13 Gas. Gets a crisp Reaper. Could often pick off a Zergling, sometimes a drone. See which one Percival opts for. Could just go Command Center first as well. You can see the SCV's already rallied here. So that tells us he's thinking about going for the Barracks here. So he should be going for the gas now. Hopefully he's not doing 13-14, because that build's quite inefficient. Yeah. With this build, you do lose Command Center building time for a few seconds there, you see, when you don't quite have the minerals. But you're paying that to get the Reaper across the map early. Look for some damage, disrupt the Zerg's build order, which is where it does make sense. Hatchery goes up there as well. Now, on this map, there are some diabolical choke points and sight blockers, and these should favor Terran, right? So I think Roach Ravager is necessary on this map, because otherwise tanks here, how do you deal with them, right? Tanks, Libs, also you need Ravager Biles for Libs. I mean, there's just these choke points that Terran can push from these ledges. Not to mention, guys, now what's crazy is we never see anyone use this. You guys know you can put a siege tank up there? No one uses these points. They're all around the map. There's these ledges everywhere. Now, admittedly, there is a rock tower next to it, so if you're sitting there with a siege tank, the enemy can come up, do 500 damage to this. It'll break the rocks and crush the siege tank. But no one does it. No one. There's some really amazing tank spots. I legitimately, it's so funny because there's a lot of pressure on Avex making this map to remove those. So you can't have tank ledges. It's so unfair. I talked about how it's really fun and we should have a higher tolerance for fun, different map features, even if they're a bit overpowered. And then people are like, oh yeah, it's really fun having a Terran, just have tanks on the ledge that you can't hit, win the game. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, if the ledge is above your third mineral line, that's one thing. But these are just like kind of in the middle of the map. They're not like directly in range of any bases. And we've not seen pro gamers use them. Maybe one game ever. I've heard there was a game where someone put a tank on one. I haven't seen it. But I had people literally being like, oh, stupid features. No! No! I want every map to be Ohana. I want every map to be Daybreak. And it's like, no one even uses them, man. I've tried to put lurkers on them a few times, which is fun as well. If you're a Protoss, you leave a High Templar on them, you know? Just go drop a High Templar on the ledge. Hey! Oh, look at that. Percival's going to try and block him. Notice you move next to it and it blocks the gas. So Rogue quickly changed direction, went for the other gas. Sixling's going to move across. Reaper bounces the Queen away. Goes back to block. And 2 Hellions will start. This is a double gas build, interestingly, for Percival, guys. So he's going to be a bit more aggressive. He's going to go for a quicker starport. We've already seen a cancel on that side. Reaper's going to dive in. Sees the drone count on the natural. Wants to make sure he's not getting all in. The Marine, of course, will run back to the safety of the SCVs in the mineral line. SCV on the natural abandons. Oh, he pulls only 2 SCVs. What is this? You can't fight 4 Zerglings with only 2 SCVs, mate. That's crazy. Sorry, Tom, I'm just thinking of like, I don't know, you're there in a classroom and somehow like a wild dog breaks in and the teacher's like, okay, rather than all of us running away or fight or like trying to, you know, getting control of the dog together, she's like, Billy and Joe, you two have been naughty. You two have to go fight the wild dog. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, it's punishment for talking in class. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. 2 SCVs go down to the follow-up. Nice follow-up pressure there for Rogue. Really well done. Alien Reaper's going to pull to the left. We've got Cloak Banshees on the way. 3rd Command Center goes down, but it's been delayed a fair bit by these Zergling distractions. Rogue doing an excellent job. And he's staying very light on Zerglings. His queen count's not too crazy either. Just 3 queens now. He's got 4th and 5th building, but he's done a good job of delaying them. That being said, did he see the Banshees? Surely he did, right? He sees the tech lab anyway. So he should be going for a lair pretty soon. He's going to build spores to start. Hellions finding more creep tumors so far. Archery. Getting chipped at by the Hellions. They're going to take forever to do any damage to that. 7 damage a shot for the Hellions. Same for the Reaper. Well, 6 actually for the Reaper because it has 2 attacks. As you can see, guys, Serral wandering the map here. Command Center's a little bit exposed. Taking a lot of damage. Dude, there's no way you lose that. Surely not. Got to put a new SCV on it, though. Loses the SCV building it. Rogue gets out of there. Chat says, I thought those were pigs. Not quite. Ooh, Mutalisk play, maybe. Because there's no Baneling Nest. I mean, it could just be left for defensive purposes. Do you guys think Rogue plays Mutas? I think playing Ling Bane on this map is an insane choice. Got a Spore in the middle. Kind of feels like he wants to play Mutas, but no, I think the gas is probably a little bit too late. Double Evo goes down. It is just going to be Ling Bane. Or maybe Ling Infester, actually. Spore Crawler uproots it. Probably a bad time for that. Hellions do distract the Queens. That allows the Banshees to go in. Get 3 drones, a bit of mining time. Cycle around the back. Past that waterfall on the edge of the map. Hellions are going to roam in at the same time. Gotta be careful here. Could use the splash damage, attacking the Queens to get some more damage there. Drones have got to be careful. Queens will push these Banshees back. Nice extractor goes down, saving that drone. 2 more barracks. And oh, it's Hydra Den. Oh, no one plays straight Hydras anymore, guys. You know what? That style completely died out this season, but I don't think there's any good reason for it to have died out. He's going to go the double upgrade Hydra Greed style. Wow, I forgot about this. No one's been doing this recently. Rogue was like, hey, why not, man? It was a great style last season. It should still be a good style. Marine Tank's going to move out to secure the 3rd. Massive worker gap, though. 21 workers, and the supply blocks for Percival. He wasn't building workers for quite some time. I feel like Percival might have to go all in. He's building a 2nd tank now. Maybe just do a big 1-1 push with 2 siege tanks. That's usually the weakness of Hydralisk styles. And they're still going to struggle. If you get tanks behind these ledges, that's hard for Hydras to reach them. Hydras will need the range, which will give them 6 range, same as a Ravager, but no corrosive bile. I just came back to SC2 end of last week. I find Hydras easier to play. Well, they're very nice once you get to them. It's just dangerous getting up to a big Hydra army. And he's going very fast Banelings. Very fast Banelings off of heavy Hydra is awkward. You need to get like a big force of Hydras and usually a few Infestors. Look at this. Hellions on the left. Ling's going for a counter. Marine tank army on the right side. Going to try and deny this 4th base. Lings do find the rally though. Oh, watch out. Those Lings finding the rally of Marines very nicely. The Lings get out of range. Queens are on the front. Hellions will deal with this. There's so many sight blockers. It's such a tricky map. You can just see the way these units are always disappearing. Oh, look at that, guys. The Banshees on the left side find the Hydra rally. Really nice. Going to get a few drones there as well. The Banshees will go down. But at the same time, Hellions and Zerglings skirmishing down there. 4th hatchery gets killed over here. Both Banshees do fall. The Zerglings have evaded capture. Overseer goes down. He's going to keep pushing forwards towards this main. Is Percival going in too deep? He might be. He's going to try and shove. He sees that Rogue is being so greedy. And he goes for the Hydras. Notice he's focusing the Hydras, not the Queens. The Queens are very tanky. The Hydras are the damage units. Percival focuses almost all the Hydras down before letting his guys fight the Queens. That was an excellent push. Lings do come in on the counter. Percival's got very little at home right now. Remember, he only had about 45 workers. This is basically a 2-base all-in with a fake 3rd base. This was a very committed push, and it's going to catch Rogue being a little bit greedy. Rogue's 1 upgrades kick in about 30 seconds after he desperately needed them. Those upgrades were just not early enough. The 1-1 timing for Terran finding the Zerg on 0-0. And that 1-1 was just way too late in this game. Rogue's build order, I think a little bit sloppy maybe for this one. Marine tank pulling back. Hydra's trying to go forwards. I'm not sure if the straight Hydra build will be as good on 8 workers. It was really good on 12 workers because people got so good at just getting up to 75 workers so early on. Takes a bit longer to get there these days. And his upgrades just felt a little bit too delayed. Hydras do end up shutting this down though. If he can clean this whole army up, that would be really good. Oh my god. Percival's overcommitting again! But wait, he kills a lot of Hydras, and Hydras are very expensive units. I mean, it's only 3-base Zerg, but the problem is the Terran's only on 50 workers. And there's no upgrade advantage. His armory's not even here. Carapace has already started. Hydras are expensive, but you can't be throwing your medevacs away. Those 2 Hydra kills, super worth it though. He's going to run away using the sight blocker. The sight blocker's so good. Rogue does snipe the medevac when he ventures out of the bush though. You know what they say, guys? A Marine in the bush is worth 2 in the hand, and these Marines, they absolutely love that bush. The Zerglings are taking big damage, but Rogue coming forward. He's got those 1-1 Hydras. He's fighting really nicely. I feel like the efficiency has really turned in Rogue's favor. Pops a new 4th base down. Survives the worst of it. Carapace is on the way. He's going to try and move out and take a 5th as well, I think. There's a 4th command center building, but Percival's not really built SCVs for his 3rd. But I guess he can transfer from his main. It's kind of funny, though, to see a player on 56 workers. Such a fast 4th base, but in a messy game like this, it might work out. 2-2 has started. Marines are going to run in from the left. They will not get the base. It's an overcommitment. Hydra's trying to target the medevacs there so he can't retreat. Sight blocker being used again. Oh man, those sight blocker abuse, as cute as it is, Percival getting way too cute. Oh, he's going to lose the medevac. He keeps doing it with like 4 Marines. If you do that with a real army of firepower, it's going to be more impactful. He keeps doing it like 4 to 7 Marines. Too fancy. And guys, look at this base location. You know what would be good for sieging that? Siege tanks up here. How good would that be? How good would that be, man? Break the rocks yourself first, and then put the tank up as well, and then they won't have the ability to collapse the rocks, because I don't think the rocks can actually fit there. So I think they'll kill anything on it, but I don't think they actually block the area from being dropped afterwards. I could be wrong. Beautiful pool, by the way, on this map. Gotta love it. Nice scenery. It's a good Marine counterattack. The Hydras are split, though. Rogue, his army's split 50-50, which is exactly what he needs. You see the slight range advantage there on the Hydras. Double drop thinks about diving. This is so dangerous. So dangerous, man. Loses a whole bunch of units here. Lots of Marines going down for free. He's got to stop trying to abuse this. The Overlord can see him from behind as well. Oh no, Percival! I love that Percival's trying to utilize the map features, but that one, the Overlord could see him from the other side. Does get a hatchery snipe here. Wasn't expecting so many Hydras on this side. He's going to take out 3 or 4 Hydras at least. But damn, dude, Rogue is just destroying Percival in the last few minutes of this game. That being said, Percival's building a lot of command centers. He's on 75 workers. He's got vehicle weapons, Ghost Academy, 3 more barracks. So as long as he doesn't get overrun, he should be okay. Right now, he's got 7 siege tanks. Oh my god, he's a 7? Dude, imagine if he didn't throw these Marines away, set the siege tanks up, spread across here, and just push this base front on. I don't think Hydras... I mean, it's mass Hydra. It's 27 Hydras. I don't know. You desperately need Vipers as Rogue. Vipers or Broodlords. But he doesn't really know what's going on the Terran side of the map. Despite Percival getting very sloppy with his units, Marines are much cheaper than Hydras. And Rogue did take crazy, almost game-ending damage earlier. So Rogue's up in supply, but he doesn't have that Hive Tech up. And Percival is like speed running to late game now. He's just mass command center, 3-3, double tank upgrades. Frenzy's coming in. Seismic Spines. Rogue's not building any Vipers, though. That's what I'm worried about. He doesn't seem to realize that there's so many tanks. Couple Blinding Clouds will be game changers. Percival looks like he's just happy to play late game now. Late game's going to be favoring Terran on this map for sure. You get like 4 bases all in one little corner on this right side. As long as you build a planetary or something to reinforce the left side just to make it a little bit safer. Maybe a planetary here, I think, is a good spot. Couple more Overlords getting cleaned up. Rogue has just been blind for a long time. He's going to try and loop around, but Marines will pick up. Boost on out of there. Still, look at this. He's even... I love how Avex, the map maker, he even put shiny gold dust on these ledges. This is something... If you ever talk to map makers about their maps, guys, it's the funniest thing ever. They'll put, like, features on the maps that are, like, obviously meant to be used, and then they're, like, no one will use it, and at every iteration of the map... They're like, sometimes there'll be big arrows painted on the floor, like to the ledge. There'll be gold shiny dust. Like, you can hear the map maker like screaming at the pro players through the maps. They're like, please, use me. Use the map feature. Come on. And pro game is like, no, 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 no. We played for over a decade with very limited map features, and now that you're putting them on there, we are going to be blind to them. Like, we are going to pretend they don't exist, because for 10 years they didn't exist. Interesting map features, right? It's the Sisyphean challenge of trying to get pro gamers to use fun map features. I feel for you, map makers. I feel for you guys. Nice Marine pressure. Just pick up and leave whenever he wants to. He's already used his boost though, so yeah, I think just stimming. And he actually baits him all the way back into his tanks. Like, he literally just kited all the way to his base, where he's got a massive spready of tanks. Mass orbitals coming in, nukes as well. And Rogue's on 21 Hydras, not the best late game army. He's going to use Nidus's skewer this. I mean, if he did it with Broodlords already, I think it'd be okay, but the ghost count's growing. Ghosts are only 2 supply again, remember, guys, so they are tanky lads. I wonder if the pro gamers even know what these rock towers do, guys. Do you think they've ever clicked on them? You can see this side actually got collapsed there. Collapsed that path on that side. Obviously this one could collapse that side as well. It's moving in. Gotta be careful. Bit of a crazy move here for Percy. Oh, look at this tank ghost layer, man. He doesn't even have that many tanks here, only 2. I'd actually say this is a bit of a mistake on the setup. Most of his tanks are back here. I mean, it's kind of nice to create an endless layer through the map, but it's kind of funny to bait your opponent here. Oh, all the Marines just died. To bait them in, and you've only got 2 tanks here. Well, you got, you know, 11 siege tanks, but most are spread across the map. Still no reserve planetary. I really think guarding your natural is the most important thing. Because if your left side, where you've got an orbital, is your most vulnerable. Whereas the right side is where you've got 3 planetaries in a row. This side never gets punctured. But Terrans almost always forget that it's the main base production and your natural rally that's the most important. This is a really good planetary spot. A bit further north would be even better. Spire trying to move in. Double Spire finally building here for Rogue. Now, you know what's funny, guys? Rogue does have a lot of Overseers, but remember they nerfed Changelings this patch. People were making fun of this the other day. They're saying, you know, it's funny, Pig. You said Rogue was targeted by this patch specifically. He was. Remember, they made it so if you kill a Changeling, all the Changelings nearby will, like, detonate each other. Essentially, there's, like, a kind of chain effect. So if you just click a billion Changelings in, like Rogue loves to do, It's much easier for your opponent to clear them, whereas it used to be they would have to click every single one. Or use splash damage to click on most of them. Siege tank in the main, denying the Nidus Worm. Feels like Percy knows exactly what he's doing in this game. The only thing I'd be critical of, guys, is that he hasn't yet built a planetary on the left or gone for 6 Ghost Academies and started spamming nukes. The funnest way to win from here is to just spam nukes. Ooh, Changeling gets in. Changeling gets in. Uh-oh. There's only 6 lurkers, I think, inside the Nidus, but... Okay, he sees it now. Libs are going to come back. Lib range has not been made just yet. There is a fusion core. Oh, he didn't siege the libs. Whoops. Oh, my. Oh, me. Oh, my. Those libs are going to tear you up all night. Nidus Worm goes on the right side as well. But was I singing the Wiggles just then? An adaptation of... I think it was the Wiggles tune, right? Too many nephews and nieces these days, man. Lurkers moving around. I've got Wiggles in my head. Nidus Worm's going up on both sides. Come on. I think Rogue's just got to get out of here now. He's forcing a big reaction. But what can he do at the same time? The problem is I don't think there's any way he can break through. Oh, he brings out the Hydras! He kills the Libs! He kills the Libs! No, Percival! He underestimated this, and Rogue's like, well, if you're not going to do anything about it, I might as well pop all my Hydras out inside your base. No, Percival! He's going to lose his starports. Oh, no, this should not be GG. Percival has unlimited money. He just needs to not panic, clean it up, rebuild the infrastructure he's lost, and go back to business. This is like not even that big of a deal. It's really not. It's just like the mental damage, the psychic damage is what often wins from here. The players like panic. Oh god, I'm taking damage I didn't need to do. And I mean, yeah. Gonna take care of this. Did he lose the fusion core? He didn't lose the fusion core. He's rebuilding 2 starports. Planetary and a few siege tanks on the right here. Ghosts should save the siege tank. See the changelings get shot down. Guys! He did it! He did it! 20 minutes into this game, he put a single siege tank on a ledge. Holy moly. We have waited so many years for this moment. Man drops tank on ledge. This is all we did in 2010. Anyone who remembers Lost Temple in 2010, the first year of StarCraft 2, it was all about tanks on ledges. 2026, 15 years, 16 years later, we are finally back where we started with tank on ledge. Percival, I'm so proud of you right now. Keep it up, buddy. This is why we need those, you know, those up-and-comers, those Percivals of the scene to start making a name for themselves. They are the creative gods that will put single siege tank on ledge. I'd love to see a tank up here as well. I feel like that'd be really annoying for Rogue to deal with. Rogue does have 3 Vipers, so he obviously can abduct. What's the bet? He yoinks that tank off that ledge very soon. Mass orbital coming in, guys. We've got 10. 4 more morphing right now, so very nicely done. I really would love to see a few more tanks on these ledges. Come on. Make me happy. And look at this. He's just going to abduct it, isn't he? Oh, he doesn't see it. More Nidus attempt. Overlord's getting picked off. Units lost have 5,000 in favor of Percival. Come on, Rogue. Sees the tank on the ledge. Doesn't abduct it just yet. Surely it's only a matter of time. Breaks these rocks. Nicely done. Rogue running back and forth right now. I don't think Rogue has a long-term plan, guys. He's got a big bank, but I don't think he's got a plan. Gives this many siege tanks, Broodlords, I think would make a lot of sense. Siege tank firing on him from the high ground. Dude, Chathammer up there. She's got 8 kills. Hydras will take care of her. She goes down. The tank on the ledge does fall. The Wingbane Hydra rolling forwards. Where is the... Oh my god, the ghosts. The ghosts are all in one giant clump. Oh my lord. Okay, those ghosts were way too clumped. Very dangerous. Parasitic Bomb landed on some units as well. But at the end of the day, a fight like that, I think it was pretty decent. And I think that tells Percival as a whole, you need a planetary here. Got a planetary up on the left, but it's way far in front, which is why it's not really covered by the tanks and the libs. Turrets will deny this one. And actually that knight is just outside of siege tank range, funnily enough. 19 Swarmos! Yes! That's actually it. That's the only thing he can do. He needs a way to force Percival to attack him. So he's going to go 3 units. 19 Swarmos, unironically the correct option here. He's doing it so late. The Terran is so well set up. It shouldn't really work. But that's only if Percival knows exactly how to deal with it, which is go kill him, usually. I think 11 tanks, 11 libs, 20 ghosts can probably just shove and overwhelm if you've got 60 supply tied up in swarm hosts. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. Mass Locust Wave coming in. Landing a few of them on the tanks, a few on the buildings. I think he's going to try and snipe the planetary would be the best way to do this. I don't think he has enough Locusts to really kill it, though. But no repair. No repair, and it goes down. He could have repaired that. Would have saved that. And the response is correct. Percival says, oh, you're going to make 60 supply of units that can only shoot once every 40 seconds? All right, it's go time. And he's going to shove. Banelings on creep. Are they going to be able to connect with the ghosts? The answer is no. Parasitic bomb! Oh my god, the power bomb! All those air units take so much damage to the power bombs. Beautiful power bombs there. And he needs Banelings as well, because Banelings are very supply efficient and they can roll into the ghost. There's no tanks coming forward. As much as Percival's creating a bit of space for himself, he's not got any tanks forward. I think he needs to bring the tanks for this as well. He's building more tanks, more Marines, Marauders, and Vikings right now as well. Big Swarm Host Wave trying to go across the map over here. Going to keep trying to do damage. Rogue can give up bases. He doesn't need to hang on to these bases. He's just got to defend his Niduses, his production, his tech. He's also got only one Lurker in the Nidus, which is good for him. Another planetary goes down. The command center will fall behind it, as well as some siege tanks. And oh my god, the ghosts get caught in the middle. The ghosts get caught in the middle. The Lingbane goes for it. A new Chat Hammer on the high ground. She has 17 kills before she goes down. Another beautiful parasitic bomb. Massive damage on those libs, taking out a whole bunch of these liberators. Really good power bomb usage for Rogue. Rogue showing a deep understanding of late game. For those who don't know, we were actually talking about the other day how Gumiho won a GSL in 2017 before battlecruisers could move and shoot, with mech and battlecruisers and Ravens with Seeker missiles. And Rogue was the guy who then showed everyone how to beat mech with Hydra Lingbane Swarmhost. Was the same comp he was using back in 2017. He shut down Gumiho's momentum as a championship player, showed everyone how to use this really, really cool style to beat it. Let's see if he can do it again. Super late game though. So many Ghost Planetaries expansions. My gosh. Planetary just disappears. This is way too many Locusts. And so many command centers have actually died. Both players have a huge amount of money. Hydra's doing some decent damage. Ling's clearing some tanks. Hydra's try to lunge through. They get behind the Liberators where they could do excellent damage. Lingbane defends that left side. Oh my gosh, the units lost tab. Only 4,000 behind for Rogue, which is crazy. If he could deny these right side bases, this would be really big. There are 10 siege tanks, but they're scattered across all the different expansions. Bio trying to shove up the left side. Still a very close game right now, and these Swarmos will eventually find crazy value. But as long as Percival keeps the momentum high, Rogue's going to have to keep taking kind of messy fights with his other units just to defend his map control. Oh, Siege Tank does take out a Swarmos. You don't want to use too many Locusts on the single Siege Tank. These Ghosts could actually take some real damage to this. Going to go to the right side. Looks like the Locust will turn and go for the Ghost, but the Ghost can kite that. Nicely done. That Locust Wave only gets a single Siege Tank. Forces a command center to lift. But the Lings on the right side are going to find real damage. At the same time, Rogue has lost his middle left base. Oh, gosh, the Lings can't see the Siege Tank. It's right in front of them. They're so low IQ. Oh my god, Zerglings, actual literal morons. So stupid, so stupid. Someone send them to school, man. They do end up running away. That Siege Tank on the right side, 38 kills. These units will chase down the Medivacs. Hydra Ling trying to jump over this position, not quite able to. And these are the fights that end up painful for Rogue. Now Rogue's got his Swarmos ready to fire again. He's got to keep firing with these. Got to find value. Mules try to drop to repair this position on the left. He gets overrun. Dude, the Marines and the tanks on move command. Oh my god, Percival! Percival on move command! What the hell, bro? Bro, what are we doing? Oh my god, Percival's panicking, guys. He's also not producing right now, and he's nowhere near max supply. He does take out a lot of Overseers, though, but Locust Wave there. And the Locusts are going to go in, unfortunately for him. There's no Overseer. You can see Ghosts are very good at clearing Locusts. Ghosts are one of the more annoying units for Swarm Hosts. You want to kind of find where the Ghosts are nowhere nearby. That's where you want to engage. Zerglings are going to jump on top of this. The SCVs try to defend. Some repair, some attack, and it looks like they will barely save the Siege Tank. Nicely done. Taste my drill. Zerglings on the right side getting in as well right now. Dude, what a fun game this is. Percival, I think, might be losing, though, because he's forgotten to put Siege Tanks on the ledges, guys. He's done it twice. He's got to replace that. If he puts those tanks back on these ledges, I guarantee you he wins. It has been prophesized. Siege Tank Planetary trying to defend. The Locust mostly landing on one turret, but he should still be able to bust this Planetary, and indeed he will. Just barely. Doesn't quite get the tank, though. Viper Hydra on this left side. Going to try and abduct the Liberators, and he does so. The Hydras should be able to clean this up, and indeed they will. Nice cleanup here. Defends the hatchery 4 now, but on the right side, Ghost coming in. Both sides bank getting worn down. The game's getting messy. Percival's really struggling to mine off this right side. Rogue's struggling to mine off any side anymore. After the map control that he kind of enjoyed for the early stages of this game, he's still down 5,000 resources. These locusts, you know, you throw a wave, you kill a planetary. It's a lot of money, planetary, but it takes a long time for these swarmos to pay for themselves. And you've just got to keep doing this. Another orbital bites the dust. That's 450 minerals. Used to be 550, but with the change, orbitals are cheaper. A lot of SCVs go down. 4 SCVs as well. Not bad. Not a lot. Okay, a few SCVs. Let's use some correct language, hey? Alright, Rogue's army. It's Lingbane, Hydra. Few Corruptors, few Swarmos. Corruptors really good against the Libs. He gets some Parasitic Bombs and some Corruptors on the Libs and the Vikings. He could smash it. Drones on the left side really struggling. A few Lings on the right are going to tear apart those mules, but it's a lot of workers for Rogue to be losing. Rogue's at 164 army supply right now. Terran's going to enjoy the lower worker count a lot more than Zerg is. Keep in mind, for Zerg, they do not have the mules. Terran is going to be able to keep mining at a much better rate here, whereas Zerg is not going to be able to mine these final bases very quickly. Locusts come in from behind. They do nothing. They do nothing. Lingbane Hydra Corruptor comes in. The Parabombs are good, but that is not the fight that Rogue wanted. That was an awful engagement. I think that was a really bad choice. I think Rogue should have gone around, busted the right side with his army. I think you want the Terran to overcommit on creep and catch the Ghosts with the Banes and whatnot, attacking into a pre-spread siege up. A big mistake for Rogue, and I think it may have just cost him this game. He's building more Corruptors and Infestors to deal with the air units, but he needs the Banes to connect with the Ghosts, and he needs these Swarm Hosts and whatnot to find even more counter damage. I love that he's denying these bases, but he's going to be losing almost all of his own mining, and you can see his minerals only at 3,000 left in the bank. I actually would consider building even more Swarm Hosts, I think, for Rogue. It's just hard to manage more than 20. 20 is enough to bust a planetary to do big damage. But he really has to basically play the most cancerous Zerg he can imagine. He needs to just, like, pull back, refuse to give good fights to Percival, and just, like, basically chip at him with the Swarmers and try to bait Percival into making bad decisions. But Percival's doing a good job of kind of trying to secure this middle base. He's just not able to mine off these right bases very well. But look, even this long-distance mining will eventually mine this one out. And stealing these resources off Rogue will be excellent. Ghost come forward. I think he just sniped a few Vipers there, guys. He's killed 2 Vipers this game. There's only one left. Yeah, I think he just ran forward, traded 2 Ghosts for 2 Vipers. Amazing trade for Percival. Viking Bio Ghost trying to defend right now. Lingbane Hydra Corruptor coming in. The Baneling's almost on top of the Ghost. Can they connect? Can they do it? Can they do it? He gets a few of them, but not as many as he would have liked. He's got so much more Lingbane there. But you've kind of got to come from 2 sides. Then again, the Corruptors clean up the air army. Oh my god, the Corruptors annihilated the air army. Oh my god. Did he get him? Ah, but there's still so many Ghosts left over. He snipes a few of the Corruptors on the way out. That is unfortunate there. He does keep the Ghosts alive. I think if Rogue caught those Ghosts, he wins this game potentially. But he's out of minerals. Percival still has 5k. Percival can rebuild. You cannot. Percival doesn't have much mining right now. Neither does Rogue. And Rogue was pretty all in these last few engagements. I think that first big botched engagement on the left just gave away way too much momentum. He's trying to jump on top of these Ghosts. The Corruptors are doing amazing. Trying to fight the Corruptors with the Vikings was a crazy choice here. He does have +2, but the 2-2 Corruptors are actually better upgraded. The 2-2 Corruptors are better upgraded. The Ghosts do go down. Rogue crushing this army. Percival maybe throwing this game right now. Percival is fighting right now. Percival needs to realize he's got bank. You aren't dead. You aren't dead unless you think losing this army is death. And Percival might be thinking, I'm getting overrun. He still has the map. He might not realize that Rogue has no income, no follow through. Rogue is completely all in right now. The Infestors getting taken out by the siege tank. Well, they get damaged. They don't actually get taken out. A few Corruptors do as well. Corruptors should go kill that base on the left. Rogue's income is tragic. He's building 2 drones and +3 flyer weapons. He's throwing more Locusts in. Oh, a lot of them get wasted on a turret. That is a real bummer. That's not the target that you really want to be hitting there. He's obviously just trying to find any damage he can, trying to keep Percival pinned at his base as well. But the Locusts are going to struggle here, man. They don't really find any actual unit kills. Single Lurker harass I do like. Struggling to kill a single SCV. Lurkers be like that. Finally does get rid of it. Orbital trying to land. The mules dropping is always the problem. Even with just 23 workers, he drops a round of mules. Any second they're able to mine, bam, 3,000 minerals a minute. And that's why Rogue, unless these Swarmos make insane magic happen, probably dead in this game. And you can see the Bio runs forward, forces the defensive Swarmos usage. Oh, the Corruptors come forward. Percival not watching his units at all. Loses a whole bunch of Marine Marauder. Crazy for him to mess up like that. Rogue's not going to make this easy for Percival. The units lost have very close to even. That's the Swarm hosts, of course, stacking up some beautiful work. What a banger. Banger of a match here, man. Percival bringing out some fun games from Rogue in this finals. He should win, though. I don't want to see Percival lose from here. I want him to be confident. I think for Rogue to beat him here, I think it relies on Percival kind of panicking, getting overexcited, and making some mistakes. Like, the mule advantage is monumental. You right now, okay, the income looks fine. The moment he drops those more mules, you just, you're going to see Rogue struggle to keep up with him. More Locusts come forward. But you can see the way Percival's tracking him, so the Locusts kind of, he knows where they're coming from ahead of time. What are you going to get? A few Marines. That's it. And he scans everywhere. He knows exactly where and when the Zerg will be coming from. This is what we call the map hack portion of the late game against Terran. Everyone likes to talk about how fair this is. Once you get this many orbitals, you get map hacks! It is 13 orbitals, so it's a good count. One of them's floating. Should keep muling this base. Got a lot of Marines in his army now. Should do fine, as long as they don't get hit by Fungal Baneling. Speak of the devil. Big engagement coming in. The Locusts are a little bit behind. He lands a few decent Fungals, but doesn't quite connect, and Rogue knows that was his last-ditch effort. He rolls forward, loses all of his Infestors, his Ling Bane. Even though he Fungals, there's no Banelings left to connect. The Locusts are a little bit late, and he is going to have to tap out. Rogue putting up a good fight from behind. Obviously, once your opponent gets 6 bases, 50 tanks, 20 orbitals, all that sort of stuff, there's not many options. I think Swarmos is one of the better options long-term for you to try and get something done. But at the end of the day, Percival did push forward and say, look, the problem with Swarmos is you give up momentum. They can only shoot once every 40 seconds. So I can just shove forward, force you to use them in a more defensive way, take forward bases, punish your expansions. And there was still a ton of minerals here, which if Rogue doesn't go Swarmos, he could probably mine a lot more of these middle base minerals and hold on to them. But he's going to be trading so much less efficiently to maintain the map control to hold them. You know what I mean? So Percival did a really good punish by basically removing his control of those areas. Really well played. GG's. All right, guys, going into game 3. Percival, the bottom left side of the map. He's going to go for that 11 depot, 13 barracks once again. A nice opening. Do enjoy that early Reaper. Rogue in the top right. Looks like he's going for... Will he go 15 hatchery? We'll see. When that lava pops out, yeah, he's going 15 hatchery. Otherwise, that would be turning into a drone. So 13 barracks, 13 gas. Slight cap in SCV production. But of course, that Reaper will cause a ruckus over in the Zerg base. This is Sanctuary map, which doesn't often go late game. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just got some nice ledges. Terran can kind of push around this ledge quite nicely. These rocks can also be broken to cut off the flanking path behind. This middle base, you'd think it's good. It's good for Terran if they mine the minerals open and then take this base. But for Zerg, it's very hard to defend. I just think it's a good pushing map. And yeah, we tend to see a lot of action-packed games on Sanctuary. This game looks easy. I bet I would beat these guys 1v2 easily. That's true. I agree, guy in the chat. You know, speaking of 1v2s, I remember, because no one ever played much RTS, right? RTS has always been a niche genre, even though people were like, oh, I miss when RTS was the biggest thing. It's like, yeah, people playing, unlimited resources. Like no one's ever played competitive 1v1. That's always been a very niche thing. I remember 2 of my friends being they're like, oh, yeah, you think you're so good at Warcraft? They're like, we'll 2v1 you, we'll smash you. And I was like, okay. I was like, you guys don't understand. You guys have never even played, ladder other than a few team games. You guys are going to get destroyed. And, excuse me. So we played at the Internet Cafe. And, yeah, as expected, they're like, oh... they don't even understand, how important creeping and hero scaling is in Warcraft 3. And they're like, I'm there with, a level 7 hero and a level 5 hero. So they're, both, level 2 or something. It's not even competitive. It's a total one-sided smash. And then, of course, I start killing their bases, and one of them runs over and unplugs my computer. And he goes, "Oh, you got wrecked, you lost, and goes to the pointing and laughing and trying to be as loud as possible approach. And I'm like, you know that doesn't count, right? And he's like, "No, you lose, you lost, yeah, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, damn, dude, I'd had people unplug their modem or their router online before to claim they didn't lose, they disconnected. I lagged out, I didn't lose. Even though they'd always, this is like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, people would always do this once they started losing so they could claim they didn't lose. They're like, no. It was like basically sticking their fingers in their ears and shouting, no, I win. Yeah, but that was the first time I encountered the real physical version of that. Good old days, good times. Can't counter the old pull the power plug out. It was a high IQ move. Whoa, that's a quick lair. Okay, 2-base muter, let's go. Rogue loves his 2-base muter. He'll get 3 queens, 10 to 12 zerglings, and he'll go for a Bailey nest, I think at about 520 is when that finishes, so probably 440 he builds a Bailey nest. He's been doing the exact same build over and over again. It's pretty solid. Takes a lot of skill to deal with. Now, the problem is Percival's going 3-rack, so if he hits a sharp stim shields timing, and Rogue doesn't have Banelings ready, he could get caught out. Wingspeed's finished, he will see. Okay, you're playing a whole lot of Marines, no Hellions. And I think that usually will prompt pretty early Bailey nest, but notice he always wants to saturate his minerals, take a third, and then he'll go double gas and a Bailey nest. Rogue's pretty good at just following the plan with this sort of style. Of course, it's 150 minerals, 150 gas for the Spire as well, so he's got to make sure he has money for that. And we said about 4 minutes 40 he'd go Bailey nest, so maybe it's Spire into Bailey nest. Let's see. Oh, he's a bit slow. Where's he built it? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Spire goes down there, Bailey nest after Spire. No reaction to his opponent's heavy Marine commitment. Man, I feel like if Percy sends it, it's going to be hard to deal with. Double upgrades already. Oh, this was a 3cc. Oh, right. This is not a sharp Marine timing. Sorry, guys. My bad. I wasn't even paying attention to the builds. Third command center's down here. Okay. So, yeah, he'll move out probably with the Marines, but it's not as committed. This will give Rogue a chance to get muted. Rogue's going to be behind on income, behind on upgrades, but these Mutalisks should force a pretty big response in terms of turrets, keeping him pinned at home. These sorts of games can... It's going to come down to how well Percival can just defend the Mutalisks. If he overreacts a bunch, it could be bad. If he dies on creeping, gets hit by Banelings, it could be bad. Or he could just stim, gun the Banes down, and win the game. I think he's probably not wanting to trade until 1-1 and medevacs are out. I think he's just going to poke around the edge of creep and try to scare Rogue without overcommitting. He's got a decent few Banes. 6 Banes on creep. Percival stim. Oh, big surround. Wow, that's a shutdown. Look at that. That is so efficient. And look, 1-1's going to finish. You just lost all your Marines. That's really rough. He's swapped off one of the tech labs onto another reactor so he can get more Marine production, but that means he's been taking a break from the Marine production in the meantime. These SCVs slow to evacuate. Percival should have known this was coming. Not evacuating those SCVs ahead of time, a really big mistake. This feels like Percival's mentally a few steps behind. I don't think losing those Marines should be the end of this game. You've gone 3 commands and you have a sick economy, but to not pull the SCVs is very sloppy. He's trying to go back out there in a situation where Rogue could easily go back in at any moment, and he's building another command center. Oh, Percival's really trying to lean into this 300 mineral command center. I think too much. I think he's being a bit too greedy with it. And yeah, he's going to get punished, man. He actually focuses down a few of these Mutalisks really nicely, gets one of the Banelings as well. But he's just lost all of his Marines, man. It's just so unnecessary to be out here. He's so focused on getting the 3rd base mining that he's forgotten about his basics. This is a 2-base Zerg. The 3rd base is not even mining much. This was a 2-base Muta build, but because Percival was so inactive with his opening, I think he just didn't really understand the context of the game that he was in. And he's overcommitted here. Unfortunate after such an epic, grueling game 2. But Rogue's really got a good understanding of this 2-base Muta build. He's done it so many times. I'd say it's almost like his most standard play right now in this matchup. So he really knows all the ins and outs. And he's a big fan of doing a Bane speed timing with it as well. Which, obviously, he's not straight committed to it, but he's going double Evo, he's droning. And he's saying, I don't care if you got a third command center. I'm gonna just be ready. If you move out too early, I will jump on you. Oh, man. It's a lot of Ling Bane. He moves out of position. If the mutas can find the tank, that's huge. Oh, he's going to find the Widowmine and the tank. Oh, this is massive. The Marines are on the outside. Where are they going to go, man? He's going to pick up and try to boost to the high ground. Should be able to get there. And indeed he will, but yet again, the third gets denied, and Percival just has to feel like he's stuck in purgatory right now. Just stuck in this weird in-between place. He can't get a third base. He's on 4 command centers, but he can't get out to his third. Oh, Drilling Claws is going to get denied here as well. Marines out front. Rogue does accidentally rally a few drones. Rogue's been very slow to drone up behind this. He's just now hit 72 workers. But that's correct. I mean, that's the right play. That's why he's been able to deny this third. And now, even though his fourth is like so slow, like he's just now starting his fourth, it feels like he's done enough damage that Percival just feels so bad in this situation. But keep in mind, Percival's opening, if he did pull back after losing those Marines, didn't build the 4th command center, just chilled, I think he'd be in an amazing spot. Look at how far ahead his 2-2 is. He's going to have 2-2 against 0-0. Honestly, he could go win still. I kid you not, after all this damage, like Rogue has just been slapping him around, he could still win. Which is a crazy thing to say, but it's actually correct. 2-2's not quite ready. Muta's running around there. He's trying to get a planetary. No, an orbital up on the 4th. Wow, crazy decision. Widowmine gets targeted. SCVs can mass repair this. Lings run in. They get cleaned up there. Turret will take out 1 or 2 Mutalisks, but oh, it's so hard to keep that repair up. The missile turret. Oh, it's going to just kill all the SCVs with the bounce damage. Man, Marines run in. Focus all the Banes down. Oh my god, the Marines just ran in. Focus all the Banes down. Is he going to get enough damage to make this worth it? He might be. Oh gosh, he's got not enough to defend the main though. 16 workers going down. But Rogue's going to lose his third base. Dude, this is closer than I thought. At the same time though, 18 workers have gone down. The 3rd orbital was burning. There's not enough Marines in the main. He's F2ing this way, and that is Percival. The main base still getting ransacked. Where are your Marines? And why are they not still in the main? He's F2'd a little bit. Oh no. 2-2 against 0-0, but Rogue does enough economic damage. He has a new 3rd base up and mining with what was meant to be his 4th base anyway. And these mutas are just going to fight. He says, okay, yeah, that's kind of painful. And indeed it is, actually. That's a lot of mutas that just went down. But I think he figures if I get rid of these engineering bays, this is going to give me a really good flow on a damage. Gets rid of one. Can he get rid of the other one? Yes, he can. Both engineering bays go down. And Percy just taking so much damage. He's got to be so frustrated with how this game's gone. He's got 4 orbitals still up. Rogue never really calmed down and set himself up for the long game. But it doesn't matter because he's just been smothering Percy. Marine Mine moving through the middle. Lewis there as well. 2-2 starts up for the Zerg. Oh, the Widow Mines. Boom, baby. Marine Mine running forwards. Percy, he's on 2-2 against 1-1. It's only a double upgrade advantage. It's not the crazy 4 upgrade advantage he had earlier. Still very effective. The Widow Mine does good damage to the enemy, but he also kills a bunch of his own Marines. Percival's supply is oddly competitive right now, and one has to wonder, if this series did not look like him falling down a flight of stairs, or this game specifically, I should say, imagine, off of that opening, his opening was actually good. He got his Marines surrounded. He took crazy damage on his 3rd 3 times in a row. Mutalisks have killed his entire economy. And now he is pushing an even supply with Rogue. I've been commentating like he's dead for the last 5 minutes. But Percy is still in this game. He takes a supply lead. 12 minutes into this game. He's got +3 on the way. He's back to 50 workers on 4 orbitals. The fast command center is a bit gimmicky, but like it does give him more ways back into the game than a lot of Terran players would normally have. The Widow Mine's doing good damage. Rogue's 3rd base is being rebuilt. He's still only on 70 workers. Rogue's not been the most perfect on transferring his workers, but he's going to lose his 5th base. Dude, Percy is going to go 2-prong cancels or kills even the 4th. Rogue is getting run over. What is going on? This is so ridiculous, but this is what happens. Like I said, Rogue wasn't droning. He was ignoring his upgrades and his drones for such a long time. He does get a good fight down here, catches some units, And when his 2-2 finishes, we will see the trading. Oh, 2 Mutalisks go into the slow zone, die to the Marines. That's bad. We will see the trading equalize for a little bit once 2-2 kicks in. But Rogue, he's only on 68 workers. He's down in supply. Percy is back in a good spot in this game. It's not enough mutas to fight a missile turret. There's Widow Mines scattered around the entire map, by the way. This is the... You know this Terran's been traumatized. Look at this, guys. He's got Widow Mines in the most random spots. He's like, Zerg coming out of the woodwork, man. It's like watching someone turn over a log who's deathly afraid of spiders. They're like, I don't know what's under there, man. Just a few creepy crawlies, nothing to be worried about. Oh, okay. Banelings don't get any crazy hits. Oh my god, pushing this deep on creep is so dangerous. You can't be losing these medevacs. He's got to unload. He's got to unload along the ledge, I think. Good unload there. Still trying to gather his forces is Percival. 3-3 not quite done for him, so he's okay to take a breather. He's building 2 more command centers. He should mine this out. Yeah, he's mining it now. Good job. That's a really good job. So that 4th base here and then 5th base in the middle, this is why this map's quite good for Terran. 5 bases in a nice tight chunk. And then you can take 2 bases kind of next to each other in the bottom side potentially and push there. Or just stay 5 base for a long time and control the map. Corrupt is starting to come in as well. Rogue, I think, is thinking about getting off the Mutalisk game into a more solid army long term. Perhaps a few Infestors and Burrow could be good. His creep is very bad. Except in this south path. He does have a bit of a tendril down here. How did this turn into a close game? What a crazy match. 5,000 better trading. 4,300 still. Widowmine drop for Percival. Great choice. Dropping into the Lingbane. Probably not such a good idea. It is fine. No turret on the natural. No way! Oh, his sensor tower didn't seem to see them. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, a little sloppy for Percy. He shoves up top. I don't know how much he killed there. Looks like he got a few queens picked up, got out of there with a Reddit point medevac. It's not even that many Mutalisks. It's just 15 of them, but it's causing trouble. The armory tries to rebuild, but it actually kind of blocks the Marines from dealing with this. They will eventually push these Mutalisks away. Ultra Cavern's on the way, +3 carapace as well. Remember, 3-3's kicked in for Terran right now. It'd be so nice if Percival was maxed. If he could push right now with a maxed army, as Rogue, seeing the success with these Mutalisks, I think he realizes that Percival does not want to be dealing with this. He's building even more Mutalisks. Rogue's just like, hey, wait a second, I'm finding value. We might as well keep committing here. These mutas are trapped. You got a Thor out, you can shoot them, even in the dead space, but as it is, these Mutalisks can leave whenever they feel like it. 67 SCVs have died this game for 5 drones. It's kind of been the name of the day, hasn't it? Percival's kind of the Terran I've seen pushing the 300 mineral command center harder than any other Terran. And as a result, he's able to take more of a punch. He rebuilds so quickly. Like even right now, he's building 5 SCVs at a time. Might be happy to sit here on 70 workers for a little bit, though. That base is going to get denied. I think this is a good call for Rogue. Rogue is happy to be down on bases. It's done well for him all series long. Remember on Percival, on Rainfall against Percival, game 1. He also was down on workers, but he had better tech. Oh man, Mutas find a lot of damage on this base, and you can see how awkward the positioning is on this expansion. Those random Widow Mines from earlier do get some really nice splashies though. Oh, very nice splashies. Marines will chase those Mutalisks away. A few Widow Mines do get cleaned up. Byro's going to push in the north again. Widow Mine does take out a few of these Banelings. The hatchery in the north does go down. Back to 3 bases. And Rogue, it's kind of weird. This, like, I'm happy to be down on bases. I'm just going to take better fights because on paper, that's letting Percival have a lead. It's kind of relying on him making mistakes. Is it really going to pay off? You've got to catch these units. The drop tries to run away. The Mutas are hot on its tail. At the same time, there is a big attack down south. Going in. Oh, picks up, saves a few of the units. Can he deny this base? If he can deny this base, it's going to be good. But that's a lot of a lot of Banelings, sorry. He's a bit deep on creep. The Marines get hammered. Great fight for Rogue. Excellent fight for Rogue. But the reinforcement is here. I don't know if he has enough to reinforce or to overwhelm the reinforced. It's 3-3 against 2-2. But a lot of Marauders went down. That was a sloppier trade than maybe it should have been for Percival. And as the Mutas come in, Percival's overcommitted. Percival needs to pull back. He's got no anti-air. Percival is overcommitting right now. He's going to throw away all of his Marauders and Medevacs if he's not careful. He's got no anti-air. The Mutalist diving on top. Percival with a massive overcommit. He's got like 6-7 command centers. He needs to calm down, take a breath, and regroup. He's got 12 Marines building right now. He's got a 3-3 advantage, but this gives time now. Rogue gets +3 carapace. He's got Ultras building, but Rogue is broke. Like, Rogue is dead long term. You've got 4 orbitals. He's barely got a 4th mining. I guess this 5th is coming back up, but his main and natural are out. I mean, Rogue's income sucks. And really, this is just going to be a test of, is Percival able to stay calm? Because Rogue has been in championship, world championship match, waters before, deep, crazy situations. He's got that experience to draw on. Percival, he's won a bunch of weekly cups. He's won a few online things. He's never been at even many like S-tier semi or quarterfinals, right? Let alone, a guy like Rogue who's won the biggest tournaments in the world multiple times. Those mutas come in for even more damage. It's hard to multitask this. Percival's multitasking has held up pretty well so far. Will it hold up long term though? Another bunch of SCVs go down. The Marines on the rally try to defend. The Mutalisks have just +2 attack, no other upgrades. Another turret goes down. The Marines do chase them off. The supply is ahead for Percival. There's no Infestors, there's no Vipers. It's Ultras, it's Lings, it's Banes, it's Mutas. It's a pretty basic army for Rogue. He's too broke to afford anything else. The army should win for Percival long term, but he's forgot concussive shells. And, oh my gosh, he's not watching! No, the Mutalisk distract him on the left side. Rogue flies the Mutas in. He knows Percival's looking there, runs in, blows up half the army on the right, and then gets out of there before Percival can react. The Mutalisks almost run into the Widow Mines behind the gas, but not quite. Percival leading units out unnecessarily here, and this is so fascinating to watch. We were casting a game earlier where I saw Clem make a few uncharacteristic mistakes, like just diving in, losing his army, not looking. And kind of crazy to see that a few times in one day, because it was weird to see Clem make those mistakes. Oh, he's going to get the command center. No way. Huge command center snipe there for Rogue. Denies the orbital coming up in the north side. Still, there's 6 bases up for Percival. I mean, Percival's ahead on base count and a competitive worker count. Yeah, he's behind 14 workers, but with the mules, I don't think that really matters. I think taking the base up top is a really dumb move, though. If you think about it, you want to take these 2 bases because they're next to each other. You have a nice tight expansion pattern. This northern base is your most exposed flank. Expanding to the top is the classic, I'm going to spread myself too thin and give Zerg an easy attack angle mistake. Now, those guys are burrowed in range of the turret. Liberator's coming forward. Oh, that's really nice. Marauder's no match for this. The Liberator bio spread is good. Does he have enough mines and Marines? Very few Marines, so the Zerglings could cause trouble. Lib's doing really well. The rocks go down, creating a bit of a chaotic engagement. The Mutas come in from behind as well. Not much anti-air here. Only a few Marines. The Medevac's trying to pull back. It feels like Percival's army always just a little bit smaller than he needs it to be. The Widow Mine's caught in the open there. The Banes go after them. Only one Widow Mine fires, and it is on an Overseer. Marines rally in through the Ultras. The Ultras are all on red hit points. A messy, scrappy engagement, and Rogue manages to send him running for the hills, which is a shock considering just how much better Percival's economy was for so long. +3 attacks about to kick in. Rogue here on 67 workers, but he's got a 6th base up of his own. He's jumping on top. The bio still able to be competitive with this army because it's still just Ultras and Mutas. Units lost tab 5,000 in favor of Percival. Probably should be trading a little bit better than that. You can see this middle base is going to get taken now as well. There's been so much fighting on the flanks. Percy has to be really focused on expanding to this base next. He was a bit gas-starved. Remember, your gases mine out way earlier these days. Gases have mined out in the main. Natural about to mine out there as well. Already both mined out for Rogue. Mass Mutiling Bane Ultra. No spellcasters. I think an Infestor could ruin Percival's day right now. But Rogue stubbornly refuses to build the Infestors. Percival has to pick up and try and get out of there. Has he gone too deep into Zerg territory? The Mutas think so. He's going to have to unload. He goes back to the low ground with the pivot there, but the Mutas take out one of the Medevacs, another Medevac. There's not enough Marines in here. There's nothing to fire on those Mutalisks. I think you really need to have a spread of Widow Mines behind your army, and Percival needs to be a little bit more patient in how he sets up these fights. He's kind of doing this dart in and try to catch the Zerg off guard, but realistically, I mean, the Zerg has to defend. That's a better setup, much better setup. The Marauders, a bit of kiting on them would be good as well. The Marines and the Mines trying to defend the Zerglings. The Widow Mines actually getting only okay shots, not amazing. And the Mutalisks are right there. He doesn't want to pick up because he's already used his boost. The Marines and the Medevacs all going down. Rogue routing Percival there. Back to this planetary fortress. The Ultras, the Lings, the Banes, and the Mutas all chasing him down. Command Center lifts off. He tries to repair. A lot of the SCVs get hammered. The Banelings rolling forwards. And can you believe it? Rogue. I thought he had a game-winning position early. I thought he let it slip away. But he pushes Percival back. This game's just been so chaotic, and Percival just hasn't had the correct unit count to back up his army. Too many engagements on the front where he didn't have the Marine count to deal with the Mutalisks, and he would push in a bit too deep, lose a few too many units, And so many times those Mutalisks kind of caught him off guard, looking in the wrong area. Lovely play for Rogue. Fights back and gets a 2-1 lead. All right, guys. Game 4, Percival on the ropes. That one's got to hurt, but luckily his opponent Rogue has spawned horizontal spawn, no cross map. It's always cross map or horizontal on this map, and cross map pretty bad for Terran, whereas side spawn, the horizontal spawn, it's always going to be a little bit nicer for the player. Looks like 11 Overlord for Rogue here. Just going to go for that standard 15 hatchery. Percival's going to go command center first. I wonder if he goes CC first mech, because that seems to have caught on these big 4-player maps. I think it's only a matter of time before Zerg start mixing in some very brutal all-ins, because the percentage that people are playing command center first on these maps is, in my opinion, a little bit too high. He went 14 command center before, this time 15 command center. That's interesting. I think both are fine. I usually prefer 15 command center. I think non-stop SCV production is absolutely essential. And he's going to go 16 barracks, 17 gas, I believe. Oh, what a series this has been, man. This has been so fun. It's been really cool, man. I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. I heard this was a banger. We've included it in the best games of StarCraft stream because of that. And, I mean, when you look at the players that Percival and Rogue both beat to get here, you can understand, you know, Percival does deserve to be in this finals. But Rogue is just being a little slippery, a little hard to pin down, and he's showing some good grit under fire. And it almost feels like Percival's panicking a bit in the high-pressure situations, whereas Rogue is, like, kind of just calmly going, oh, I'm pretty screwed here, but if I keep doing this and this and this, maybe I can get this less experienced player to make some mistakes, you know? He's got kind of the confidence of the old man. He says, if you want to overtake me and take my my money in this finals, you are gonna have to really throw me off my game, man. You're gonna have to stay very focused, very determined. I'm just gonna keep applying pressure, and I'm gonna give you as many opportunities to make mistakes as possible. Someone in chat said that he won, Rogue won 9 skirmishes in a row. But Percival wasn't willing to give up the aggression, kept just attacking. You're not wrong. Imagine if Percival won just 1 or 2 of those 9 skirmishes in that last game. Like, they were all really excellent fights for Rogue, considering the kind of unit compositions and matchup setup. Chat says, I feel like Rogue's going to YOLO all in cheese. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it would be a good way to mix things up. This is a very fast 3 command center into 3 barracks. So Ultra Greed opening, but 3 racks afterwards. Similar to what he did on Sanctuary. So far, Rogue playing 2-base Muta by the looks of it. There we go. I feel like he normally builds a few more drones before making the lair. Maybe it's always on that supply, I don't know. Let's see, he wants to drone up his natural as quickly as possible. And then once he hits saturation on his natural, he takes the 3rd base. Then I think it's 2 gases. Obviously 2nd gas first, yeah. Because he wants to use these next drones popping in the main to saturate this one. But yeah, he'll go 3rd base, 3rd and 4th gas, Spire, and then Bane Nest, I think is the order, right? Yep. Yeah, you can tell, it's like clockwork. And he's squeezing drones in at the same time. These drones, he replaces those 3 onto minerals, those 3 onto gas. Behind this, or on the other side, I should say, +1 weapons is on the way, factory building. Hasn't started stim or shields yet. So Percival going for a very odd build. Why is he building a factory this is a... I think he messed his timing. I don't know why you'd go factory before stim. That's so odd. And he's pausing production on his barracks, so they're just sitting there idle right now. Very weird build order. Yeah, bizarre build order for Percival. But as we see, Spire into Baneling Nest. And then, of course, he can rally all of his hatcheries to his 3rd base, as you can see. Builds a few more Zerglings with his 3 queens in case Hellions try to run in. Honestly, I think he's actually delayed those Zerglings slightly more than normal. We should be seeing maybe 1 more over. He's actually building a lot of Zerglings this game. Rogue has information. He sees a few barracks. He sees the factory and the starport timing. He has a good idea of what's going on from this. He's like, okay, you're playing greedy 3-base buyer. Stim and shields finally on the way. The marine production is now consistent. I would have much preferred this build if Percival just built a reactor with a third barracks and had one barracks working on stim and combat shields consecutively, but from earlier. So you would still get a similar stim shields timing, but not bother wasting time with a barracks on a tech lab that isn't needed. That's my personal preference. 5 Mutalisks are on the way. 6 Mutas. How early does Rogue go upgrades here? I've seen some players rush single Evo. Rogue's still pretty double Evo minded most of the time. Turret's going down already. So Percival's well aware of what he could be up against here. Turret on the third. No turret in the main. Second eBay Armory. I think the Armory's a little bit late. But remember that fast +2 is essential. Oh, it's the Bane speed timing, guys. It's Muta Bane speed. So he's going to go 6 Mutas. And then he's going to ambush him with Ling Bane. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Percival has no idea. Oh, no. He's not expecting him to come from here. Percival steps in deep on creep. Mutas hit the main base. Rogue makes a mistake. He runs around. He should have come from behind. Those medevacs weren't quite with the Marines. Percival does save them, but he's taking tragic damage in the main base. Overseer does go down, but 17 workers. And the Ling Bane cascading towards the third base. Turret not quite finished on the natural. That is so bad for him. The Marines unload and the Banelings take care of them. The Ling Bane clears the third base. Rogue with a brutal Ling Bane Muta time. I told you guys he likes to mix these in. Sometimes he rushes the Evos. Sometimes he drones up. Sometimes he holds the Mutalisk key down. But sometimes it's just 6 Mutalisks and straight Baneling speed into a massive, massive Ling Bane Muta timing, which is very hard to defend against, especially if you don't see it coming. And this is the secret to this opening. He does this opening so much, but he has 3 different transitions off of it that are all subtly different in appearance. They look pretty similar, you know, and then bam, the actual effect and what you need to do differently is wildly varied between them all. He knows he's got this game in the bag. He's not going to wait. I think he's going to smash this wall off and keep going because he's just like, whatever, man, you did. Let's finish this. I've got the advantage. And if I clear this natural mineral line as well, it's going to be game over. Beautiful play by Rogue. Yeah, it's been a stressful series. Honestly, I feel like it could have been 3-0 Percival with how close games 1 and 3 were. But as it is, Rogue, the experienced veteran, overwhelms him and does end up winning the finals. And that's that old man power. Rogue unwilling to give up his competitiveness and to give away any wins here. A nice decisive finish at the end of the day. Percival was being a little greedy, a little lower maybe on Marines than he normally would be. But yeah, that's a really rough one. I think, honestly, probably could have reacted a bit better. He should have pulled the SCVs out of the main when those Mutalisks flew in. It's actually a big mistake to not do that, right? He should have just ran the SCVs from the main to the natural. And if he abandoned the third, pulled those back to the natural, re-established main and natural, dropped his Marines back in the main out of his medevacs, lifted the third command center, and then, you know, as long as he's still on 2 bases, 3 command centers, he would have been okay. But if you'll notice, he tries to go back to mining. He's like, yeah, I've got Marines here. But it's like, it's 3 Marines shooting an overseer. So sending those SCVs back was a big mistake. And trying to defend this base, also big mistake. Run the SCVs, he could have had them already evacuated. And then these guys go drop in the main, and there's a chance. Still going to be a hard spot, but there's definitely a better chance. I love the Contaminate on the factory, by the way, limiting the Widow Mines, as they can be real game changers in this sort of situation. GG, well played, though. Thanks for watching, guys. Shout out to Rogue. He is an absolute menace right now. GG, well played.